everyone is asking link.
Link share பண்ணுங்க ராஜா சார், சேம் லிங்க் தான் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.
Shall we go?
Wait. No, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are not going live, so recording is happening. All good to go, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll allow them inside.
Enable waiting room, disable பண்ணுங்க sir.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome and join the fourth day of this online Nata coaching session. It's going to be a day of celebration with color. I call upon our dear Dean sir to give us a few words of motivation.
Good morning, everybody. My dear students, faculty members, the celebrity Raja, Professor Arvind, and everybody here. Thank you so much for this opportunity again on the fourth day. First of all, I would like to thank for all or many who has joined yesterday's session for the valedictory for your seniors. And it was a very nice session we had yesterday for both 2 hours, and we also shared that in the YouTube link. If anybody have missed it for some unknown reasons, you can definitely look into that and know what is that happening across here in that particular session. And like that, we also have multiple sessions happening in our institutions for different areas and different conditions. And that's the way of working, and that's the way we have a very good team of faculty and know the system, how it is getting operated. Thank you so much for anybody who has joined, and for others to kindly have a look into it. And also for others who have not gone through our website, please check the website, which gives you umpteen number of information in terms of MOUs, exchange programs, and other activities what we do, not only in architecture, but also in interior design, also in any other engineering programs. And if you find time, or if you know any of your faculties, kindly make a phone call to them. Also with your parents, kindly speak to our faculties and our admin people, and they will guide you, help you in all aspects, what are the best possibilities. Those who have missed to apply or to register, kindly register, apply, because we are going to close that file, and we are in the preparation of conducting the online examination and the personal interview, and things are getting ready. Probably in another week's time, we will shoot it up, and probably in a day or two, we are closing the application. So whoever wish to apply should not feel that they have missed the chance. So it's again a reminder. And also for others here, kindly be attentive in the classes, be in time, and be attentive for all the 10 classes, the morning and evening. And definitely these attendance and your reports and your follow-ups and also your updations and reporting in your WhatsApp, everything is counted, and everything is well documented by Professor Raja, and he is reporting to us. And all those documents in terms of category, in terms of attendance, in terms of marking, everything will be reported to the admission process, to the scrutiny committee members or the experts on the day of interview. We will see you, the process, how well you are serious, how serious you are towards the academics. So that is also one more criteria for your entry into SRM IST. And that's going to be very toughest competition, I believe. Let's see, hope the best, and let's work great. all the best for you. And also keep your parents in line, have a lot of discussions with them about the institutions, about the course and whatever. It is not only with the BArch or BDAS or any other courses you wish, you're welcome. All the best. Thank you very much. Over to the moderator.
Thank you so much, sir. I call upon our tutor, Raja, to introduce Professor Arvind for the day.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It is always great to see the enthusiastic people in the morning. And thank you so much, Mansi, Sanjeev, all of you actually put SRNT, Ashika yesterday, like it was really fantastic to see. See, the architectural course is for only 5 years. But yesterday, in the valedictory function, there were 6 years of students. That means the students who are going to enter, because you will not be seeing the final year students when you come to the college, but you have seen the final year students. I thank every one of you who have attended yesterday's valedictory function. It was fantastic to actually, be there. And we were having an identity also. Everyone was asking, what is SRNT? And I was also having a SRNT, and everyone was asking, what is this SRNT everywhere. Today also I can see that lots of people have put your name as SRNT, Nega, Harish, Ashik and Mansi. I request you to everyone to put. Today's speaker, as all you can see, Kavita ma'am's background, I am wearing a beautiful shirt, Sarana Raja sir's background, Tiago sir's background, ma'am is actually colorful today, Dean sir was colorful today. So what is going to be today's subject? It's going to be colors, like we are going to fly today with butterflies, and today's tutor is going to be the charming and the great academician, a person who actually he was there as a head of institutions for Penny, and he's a person who actually a very inspirational person, very, very close to the students, and he's going to today actually start our session, and he's going to be the tutor for today. And he actually finished his Bachelor of Architecture from the prestigious MGR Educational Institutions, and a Masters from School of Architecture, Anna University, and he is a research scholar with SRMIST also. He's right now leading, and he's the professor, and he holds lots of positions as a professor in SRMIST. He's a professor now SRMIST. I request architect Aravind sir to actually take them to this colorful world, and today it's going to be colors, colors, colors. We'll have an enjoyable day today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raja sir. Thank you very much for the introduction. Good morning, students. As Raja sir said, today we are going to discuss about colors. I'll just share my screen. Just give me a moment. So, the most fascinating elements of architecture, one of the elements of architecture, color. Definitely, I think every one of us will like colors. Maybe somebody black, green, red, but I can't find anybody who doesn't like a color. So, being an architect, it's always better to know this element. This is one of the elements. There are a lot of elements of architecture. Color could be one of the elements. So today we're going to go through this stage by stage, and we actually, being an architect, we should also know the fundamentals first. That's the most important thing. Any art, any skill, you should be strong in your fundamentals. And I'm not going to teach you something which you don't know. It's very well you know them and you would have come across, because when we started our schooling, right, from the age of 3 or 4, the first thing what we get fascinated about is the color. You can see a lot of kindergartens and all of places where the children are there, it will be filled with a lot of colors, because children get fascinated with the colors. As we grow up, we also understand the color theory. Now, it is necessary for an architect to understand the color, knowing the color, liking the color, understanding the color. So now, I'm going to take you to the tool of understanding the color theory. Let me enter it. Which you would have come across in a lot of occasions in your schoolings. Nothing new about this. Of course, you know them. It's very, very familiar to you people. But when you look into an architectural perspective, it will have a different dimension altogether. That's what we're going to look into that. What is the color wheel? So everybody knows Sir Isaac Newton, right? The color wheel is a staple in art world. Sir Isaac Newton first developed the circular diagram of the colors in 1666, and it has been in use ever since. Let's take a look at what makes up the color wheel to find out why it's so important. See, in this presentation, I have had a lot of text into it, just to make sure when I share this presentation to you, it will be easy for you to follow what actually the presentation contains. That's why we have added a lot of text into it. Now we will enter the color wheel, which you are very much familiar about that, and even some of your NATA classes would have already spoken about that. Anyway, we'll just brush up that once again. Those who know it, fine, they can definitely follow it. Those who are new to this, just follow the things, because few of the questions might be asked in the poll from this presentation. So a color wheel is comprised of primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. Everybody know that. It's very simple and direct. Okay. Now, getting into the first part, primary colors. The main colors in the color wheel are red, blue, and yellow. These are called primary colors. Why these colors are called primary colors? For the simple reason, they cannot be formed by mixing any other combination of colors. They are all godly colors, original colors. You don't get these colors by mixing any other colors. That's why they are called as primary colors. This is the most important aspect, because in NATA, when it comes to colors, there are many questions related to this, the primary, secondary, and tertiary. So to score NATA, that's the main purpose for you people to attend all these sessions. So make a note of all these small points, which you might be knowing it, but make a note of it. See, when you go to the NATA examination, it's always better, I would advise you to have a rough sheet. They'll be giving you a rough sheet to calculate it. What you can do is, once you get a rough sheet, you draw the color wheel and keep it handy with you. Because it might look simple and easy at this point of time. But when you about to answer a question from the colors, there'll be a lot of confusion arises. Most of my previous children who have, I used to conduct NATA, I am conducting NATA too. Like those guys, they say, sir, I know the answer, but the moment I saw the question, I got confused. So to avoid that nth moment confusion, I would always advise you children to draw the color wheel simply R, B, Y, all those basic things, basic fundamental things which you know, and keep it handy in the rough sheet. The moment if you get any questions from the colors, that will help you out in scoring without any confusion. Of course, very simple, direct, but problem is the moment they ask the question, you get a lot of confusion today. So to score marks in the colors, make sure you draw the color wheel in front and keep it ready before even you start the examination. That's my tip to you when it comes to color. So I told you why these colors, red, blue, and yellow. Shortly they called as RBY. Why these colors are called as primary colors? Just for the simple reason, they cannot be formed by mixing any other combination of the colors. Wherein apart from these three colors, all other colors are derived from these three hues. Colors are hues, that's what they call it. So any other color apart from these three colors, they are derived only from this mixing proportion. So naturally what will happen from the primary colors, we will be going to the secondary colors. What are the secondary colors? When you mix two primary colors together, you end up with a secondary color. Now, orange, green, and purple are the secondary colors in the color wheel. How do you get them? Here, when you mix red and blue, you get a purple. You can see this. Red and you get a purple. Then yellow and blue, you get green. Yellow and red, you get orange. So purple, green, orange are secondary colors, which is a resultant of mixing two primary colors together. Got it? Now naturally, the third one, the fundamental one, I'm touching upon the fundamentals, tertiary colors, and finally the tertiary colors are the colors when you see between the primary and secondary colors. And they are formed by mixing the primary and secondary colors together. So make a note of it. There might be questions in JEE Main Paper 2 or NATA because they'll be touching upon the fundamentals. This is the point. It's very fundamental. It's very primary one. No, everyone knows it, but the point is just to make a note of it. So the tertiary colors are the one resultant of mixing the primary and secondary colors. So in the names is yellow green. Yellow, when you get yellow green color when you mix with yellow and green, red orange color when you mix with red and orange, and goes on. So it's very simple and direct. Primary, secondary, tertiary colors. Now I'll go for a poll. I request everyone to answer it. You can answer all 3 questions. Can you see the poll?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as you see, yes, why red and blue and yellow are called primary colors. They are shortly called as RBY. Majority of students have answered right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Now we'll go to the second part of our thing. So we have gone through the fundamentals of color theory, that is primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Now, as an architect, you should understand the term called color harmony. What does actually color harmony mean here? Color harmony is basically a fancy term for what colors are going to look together. That's the most important skill what an architect should know. How we can combine the colors, because any individual color may not be as fascinating for a longer period of time. We should have a combination of colors. That's an art, that's a skill. An architect should definitely know about it. So to know about it, how to combine colors, you should know the basics or fundamentals of combination of colors. That color harmony is that. Got it? So now you see it's a vibrant, colorful slide. You know, I think most of them must be liking this. It's so bright and thin. Now, what is color harmony? Complementary colors, analogous colors, triadic colors, split complementary colors, tetradic colors. These are the various categories of color harmony, which we are going to go one by one now. To start with, we'll understand what is a complementary colors. Naturally, you can see the slide. It's an opposite colors, the blue and opposite to the blue color, whatever they are called as complementary colors. Opposite colors in a color wheel are complementary colors. So the text, complementary colors are found across from each other on the color wheel. So red and green go well together. Yellow and purple, so on. They're all very, very complementary and contrasting color. They gel very well. So you should know, as an architect, you should know what is a complementary or contrasting colors. So now, I just go with an example. Rather going for just a theory, I just thought I can introduce some examples to you people so you understand better. Now, this is what? It's in a movie poster where you can definitely find two complementary or contrasting colors, which is giving a value. No, if you see Ryan and Ford were working, acting in the movie Blade Runner released in 2017, you can definitely see the director or the poster creator, the art guy, has really defined the characters of Ryan and Ford. There, it is being defined by the colors. You know, indirectly they're trying to communicate if there is some kind of rift or some kind of relationship going between these two characters, and there are two characters which are common. So color plays a very, very, very important role in communicating the emotions. As an architect or aspiring architect, it is your duty to know about colors and where to use appropriate colors. So that's the beauty. No, you see the posture. Let not stay here. I'll go with some more examples. Most of them will be liking this. Fanta. This is another example of complementary colors. The fascinating color orange is the background and the foreground is a complementary color. And the green is also there. Anyway, you can keep that green as a slide thing.
Arvind said the slide has not changed.
No, I have not changed the slide.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you see Fanta ad?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. The next one is, everybody must be knowing this. It's a browser, Firefox. And the designer has capitalized the complementary colors. Can you see the Firefox slide? I mean, the Firefox logo? Tutor, moderator?
Yes, sir. Firefox. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Great. Okay, so these are the usages of complementary colors. You should know effectively. As an architect, definitely you should be aware of all these things. Another one, Mountain Dew. Once again, an example of complementary colors. See, we know all these logos and symbols, but we should know how to read them, no? Because it's a creative world and we should understand them. Why these colors? Why these two colors? Because it is from the color wheel. Basically, the complementary colors go very well. They gel and it will give a very, what do you call? They gel along. They don't fight for their importance. They gel along and they fight together for their attention. So this is something an architect should know. That is one of the basic fundamentals of complementary colors. Last, once again, pepper stuff, the green and the red, all the stuff, you know, the color itself is so hot that it gives you directly what the designer wants to communicate it. Nevertheless, this is something related to food. You don't understand? So there, the skill of a creator, the designer, an architect, of course, he is also a designer, creator like us. So use the power of the colors so that you can communicate what actually you are trying to say. And you have to keep this. This is one of the color harmonies, complementary colors. We will jump to the next one. So before going to that, definitely complementary colors from nature. We know God is the best creator. None of us can definitely match his creativity. Now I have taken few examples from the nature, from the internet to explain you what a complementary colors. See the sky, the beauty of the sky, almost in the near about the sunset. The change, the transition happens. How beautiful it is. Just have a look of it. And here, between the sky and the land, the contrasting aspects, so the photo makes very beautiful. And once again, nature's creation. It's the flowers and the sky. The contrasting aspects of this photograph is fascinating. You should know the theory behind why it's beautiful. That's more important. An architect is someone who should know the theory behind why that is beautiful. If you know why that is beautiful, definitely you will know to create beautiful aspects. That's the most important thing. Why that is beautiful is what you have to decode it. Now getting into the second aspect of color harmony, analogous colors. As you can see the slide, it is the neighboring colors. They form a beautiful harmony. Neighboring colors, they form it. Now what is analogous colors? Analogous colors are groups of 3 colors found next to each other on the color wheel. It can be any 3 colors. I have just shown an example, but there can be any 3 colors which can be neighboring themselves. They are analogous colors. When using an analogous color scheme, choose one color as your dominant color and the other 2 to support it. That's very important. You know, just because we use 3 colors doesn't mean that you mix it and make it in an equal proportion. You have to have a dominant character to enhance the photograph, enhance the image, enhance the drawing, whatever you do. Now, Kung Fu Panda. This is the best example. See, I said 3 colors. That's a minimum of 3 colors. It can be 3 or more. It could be anything. Minimum 3 or it can be more. Now, this posture, you can see, it is the best example of analogous colors. Now, why these things is because when you people are going to crack NACHA, you're going to have one of the drawing questions where you may need to add colors into it. So while doing that, you choose the one whichever is suiting to you. It could be complementary, it could be analogous, or it could be anything else what you're going to learn in the next slides. So you choose which one is fascinating you a lot, which one you want to choose. So keep all those things ready. So the moment when you get in a question, you will be having a 50% clarity about what are the colors and going to use it. That's more important, no? So you should have everything handy with you. So you cannot decide at the moment of answer, because most of the time our mind doesn't react as it has to react. So you have to be prepared. Okay, I like this composition. I like this color harmony. No, I'll try to choose. Okay, I'll try to have backup. Set 1, set 2, set 3. Because not all the time you might get as a, you can be like choosing option A with you. You should have option B set, option C backup, so that the answers might demand option B, option C. But what you have to do is like keep it ready with you. But these are my set. I can rubber band my pencil colors so that A, B, C. If my question is going to be suitable for your A, then you can pick the A set of pencils and use the colors. So you choose the color harmony whichever you want to. One second, this is on.
I think we have lost our tutor. Raja sir? I now call upon Professor Kavita to add a few words to...
Ma'am, I'm there. Guys, good morning. I just want to actually add up to Sir's words. I'll tell you some small logic to make a color wheel, okay? So I'll just show you, but say I'm under-prepared. Anyway, like I'll show you this. Yeah, how do you make a color wheel, okay? Say, this is how you are actually going to make a color wheel. Very simple. You make a circle. Whenever you are actually going to the examination or whenever you are actually going for any work, just make this a point, you know. Today you go home and make this, okay? Just make one circle, okay? This is called as color wheel. Everything is there inside. See, this is all called as primary colors. The primary colors actually makes lots of other colors. Only red, yellow and blue will actually make every color in the world, okay? That you remember always. You know, whatever colors we are seeing in rainbows or whatever we are seeing, all are the mix of this color only. So first of all, take a circle and make a Y like this, okay? Make a Y like this and actually mark red, yellow and blue in it, okay? Red, yellow and blue it and shade it, okay? Shade it with the red, yellow and blue and you'll get these colors first, okay? So it is there.
Yes, sir, has come, sir.
What is the category of block color? I'll tell you, okay? No, it's not a secondary. I'll just tell you. Okay, now, okay, sir is come. Okay.
Yes, sir, has come, sir.
Sorry guys, sorry. There's a technical glitch in between. I'm sorry for.
Thank you, sir.
I'll just start my then. Thank you very much, sir, Raja sir, for filling the gap. Yeah. Now, can you see the slide? I think this is where we were actually, they got disconnected. So,
Yeah, we had crossed. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And you can see the analogous colors. You can see them. BP stands for British Petroleum. Got it? The power of these colors, analogous colors. It is very essential for an architect to know how these colors react. This is another example. Yeah. And we'll go to the analogous colors from nature. See how beautiful the nature is. Now you can decode when you see all the human being, what he did was to capture the moment. That's the only role for a human being, to capture the right moment and enhancing it with a few skills of technology. But end of the day, you see a beautiful picture. We should know why this is beautiful, because this harmony, color harmony, comes under analogous colors. So as an architect, you must know to decode why this is beautiful. What are the reasons? Why this? Because this is analogous colors in a color wheel or neighboring colors which come together in a proper proportion to become a beautiful scenic view. And the third one, triadic colors. It goes by its name. What is it? Triadic colors. Three colors come together. So minimum three colors or three colors. It's up to you to decide depending upon the need and necessity of the question or whatever the thing you come across in your future. A triadic color scheme uses colors that are evenly spaced on the color wheel. They tend to be bright, and like analogous color schemes, it is recommended that you see one color as your dominant color and the other two to support it. See, this is something, no, even though when you use three colors or four colors, try to have one color as a dominant color. It's always better. It gives a lot of magic in it. Now, so the Will Smith, Aladdin, this is one of the best examples for triadic colors. The foreground, the background, and Will Smith by himself, he is having enough there. See the way the designer has created it. He has given up contrasting opposite colors, and he has actually mixed three colors and get it done. So this, in a proper proportion, it will give a very beautiful color combinations. And of course, Burger King, three colors, which comes under triadic colors, all the stuff. The split complementary colors. We have studied about complementary colors, which are nothing but opposite colors. The split complementary is another color harmony which you should know. What is a split complementary color scheme? A split complementary color scheme is a variation of the complementary color scheme. Choose one color on the wheel for your base color, and then instead of choosing its complementary opposite, choose the two colors adjacent to the complementary color. This color scheme is strong, and most importantly, it's good for the beginners. If somebody who really wants to start playing with colors, I think this would be one of the suggestions from our side. Easy, and it would not be really like jazzy with your color combination. So keep this in your mind. If you're a beginner, then definitely split complementary colors will enhance your picture. This is from the nature. I just told you, like split complementary colors, how nature plays its role. Nothing can match near nature. And this another one, type logos. See, I went with logos as example because you might come across to create a logo also stuff. That's why to suit your need and requirement, I've created with logos. So it's familiar to you to keep this in your mind and use the color scheme so that you can create a logo based on the colors, which will make the logos more vibrant and beautiful. And last in the color harmony, tetradic colors, as it goes with the name, which are the set of two complementary pairs combines to form a rectangle on the wheel. You know, the big guys in the IT industry who are controlling entire globe have used this color. Everybody know Google. Definitely you know, you come across the word Google. Next, I don't think I need to talk about this. It's Microsoft. And e-commerce guy, eBay. These are the big tech giants who have used these color combinations. I would like to know why these guys are using these color combinations. You can WhatsApp in the group where Raja sir and myself will answer, but I would like to know why these guys, see, why all these big giants have used these color combinations. There must be a reason, right? Decode the reason. Knowing it is very important, because to a creator, you should know to reason it out. A reason it out is always most important aspect of a creator. You cannot just say, I like that, I did it. No. Why did you like it? You should be able to reason it out. It's not only for Nata, it's for entire career. If you're choosing an architect as your aspiring thing, definitely anything from now onwards, you like it, you should be able to tell the others, why did you like that? You should be able to reason it out. So I'm giving a question to you people, not as a poll, it's a general question. Why all these tech guys, big guys, who have become big, or they adopted this after becoming big? See, Microsoft, it was entirely different logo way back in 2000 before. After that, they have changed this color logo. Why? There should be a reason for it. So it let it be general information to you. You should understand why they have done it if you are really keen in knowing that. Now, poll 2, Thiago sir, can you assist me for a poll? Because I need to shift the stuff.
The poll is on, students. The results are shared on the screen. I think there's a bit of confusion with the students. Okay, understanding, because the percentage of answers. There's a lot of variation in the percentage of answers.
Yeah, they will understand that. They will get to know. But majority, the 50% and above, got it. Minimum, how many number of components can be there in triadic aspect? 3. So there, no questions. 50% of signal doesn't matter. Thank you very much. I will go to the next portion, the third one. Color temperature. As an architect, it is very, very essential to know this. Where actually, this is something which you should know. Color temperature. It might sound funny for the newcomers. Do color have a temperature? Yes, that is, we are talking about not the real temperature, the visual temperature. So the left side of the wheel, not exactly left, tilted one, are the warm colors, the right side are the cool colors. I don't think I need to go much more explanation on this, because by default, orange, red, yellow, all the stuff comes under a warm color category. Purple, blue, green, greenish, yellow, all comes under cool color category. Why? I think you should know the answer. Why they are cool color? Blue color relates to water, which is cool. Green relates to trees, which is cool. Naturally, that's why they come under cool colors. Warm colors, definitely sun. sand, dry, they are warm colors. Understand them first. Warm colors are generally associated with energy, brightness, and action, whereas cool colors are often identified with calm, peace, and serenity. Okay, now coming to the context. So, okay, sir, what is the necessity for me to know then? What way it's going to help me? Of course, it helps you, you know that, but you should know how it's going to help you out. Have you ever noticed that we people have, when we have a formal introduction, we used to say warm welcome. You know why? We are followers of British system, where in Britain it's almost cold most of the time. So for them, warm is something they appreciate it. But using the same terminology in the places like Chennai and other places where it's really steaming during summers, warm welcome doesn't suit well. But still, what to do? We have been telling that. But as an architect, this could be one of the, similar to this, you might be designing in your future. It's totally a warm atmosphere. Interior has been warm atmosphere, majorly because of the color scheme what the designer has adopted in this. There's an example for this, cool colors too. It's a bluish tint. So this is a cool color and the warm color combination. And there could be another thing, combination of cool colors and warm colors. So it goes within designer and the client. The client and the designer, the architect, are the people who will be deciding about the color scheme. As a bottom line, I would like to suggest all the students is, if you get a client in OT, got it? If you see, it's always better to use light warm colors or warm colors, darker, brighter warm colors in your interiors. You must be knowing the answer why I'm suggesting you that. Definitely in the places, the cold places, when you come across, when you're going to design something to adopt, to bring a balance in it, definitely using a warm colors will help you in a bigger way. It's a vice versa for other things. Whenever you design in a dry climate or places where it's very hot and humid climate, warm and humid climate, it's always better to adopt a cool colors to balance it. We always have the tendency, right? During winters, we try to go behind our room warmers and other places. We'll wear sweaters and other stuff. During summers, we always want to go behind chill items, cold items. That's the mindset. So likewise, when there's predominantly a cold climate area, usage of warm colors will always benefit us in the designer. In the hot climate areas, you can use a cool colors. Now I'll go with an example. For color temperature, as a city, blue in color. This is one of the cities in India. As we discussed, definitely you can tell me or you can guess, definitely that should be a place where it's more like most of the times are dry, isn't it? They will be dry and rains are very less. So naturally, which part of India is dry, which are deserts? It's Rajasthan, and this is one of the cities of Rajasthan, none other than Jaipur. See the liking of the people, no? How can it be possible? Most of them like blue color, because you know the answer. Water scarcity, people always want for what they don't have. So I tell you, children, you have to use this as a tool and to get your design done with the colors. Now, we keep telling about colors. Let's go back to the 64 packs of crayons from your first day of school. Everybody would have crossed that. Everybody have vague remembrance of that. How we get from those 12 colors of the original color wheel to all those crayons? That way, tints, shades, tones comes into place. What is a hue? Hue is an original color. The color, primary, secondary, tertiary color, or the hues of the color. But what is shade? Shade is nothing but When you keep adding black color, you get different shades. Then what is tint? Tint is nothing but when you add white to the colors, you get different tints of colors. I'm repeating it, white tint. I am stressing upon the point T on both the words, white tint, because usually you should not get confused. White tint, white tint, I'm repeating it. When it's going to mix with a lot of white colors, you'll get different tint of the colors. When you mix with a lot of, when you mix with different proportion of black color, you get different shades of the color. So keep that in your mind. It might be helpful for you to crack JEE or NATA. The same way, how do you get different tones of a color? It's very simple. Keep adding gray color. So while you add black, you get different shades. While you add tint, you get different, while you add white, you get different tints. While you add gray, you get different tones. So these are the basic fundamentals. Most of them must have known it. Anyway, if you know it, I just brush off everything, revise it. If you don't know, you make a note of it, and this presentation will be shared to you in your WhatsApp group. There are a lot of text, so whatever I'm talking to you, it has been given in a simple text format, so that might be helpful for you. As I told you, try to have the whenever you get your rough sheet, keep this color wheel ready. So if you get an answer question, it's very easy to answer these questions in colors. The only thing, it will be very confusing for you. To avoid the confusion, keep the color wheel ready, handy before the exam starts, so that you can answer it very, very easily. Because I know many of my children, they know the thing, but unfortunately, the moment when they got a question, they got confused and they missed it. So I don't want any one of you to do that mistake. So even if you are sure about what you know, but have it handy, get it done. Now, Jabu sir, can you launch the poll 3, the last one?
Yes, it's launched.
Thank you. The first question is multiple answer question. You can answer for 2. For the first question is multiple answer.
Yes, I have shared the results on the screen, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Fine. Now with this, I'll come to an end of this session. So these are the references. I have taken it from the net. You must have seen that. And thank you very much. And all the best for scoring good marks in NATA. Over to the moderator 1.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure the children are all energized right now, and their minds are racing with a lot of ideas, with a lot of inputs that you have given. I ask Raja sir to add a few words. You're in mute, sir. Raja sir.
I'll just give you a small example. Like sir was talking about wonderfully about the entire fabric. So I just give you a very small brief introduction about how to make a color wheel. Okay, that is very, very important for you. So I'll tell you how to make a color wheel. So let's go, and I'll just tell you how to make it. All of you know how to make a color wheel. Anyway, I'll just tell you. Okay, whenever you actually have a circle, you take a circle like this. Okay, after that you make a Y like this. Okay, then you can mark red. Can you see the screen?
No, I can't see the screen.
1 minute. Now, okay, just 2 minutes I'll take now.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. There are a few questions after your presentation. We can answer those questions, sir.
Yes, I think somebody asked about black. Black is no color. Okay, yes. This is actually the color wheel which you have to actually make in your place. First, you actually make a red, yellow, and blue. It's very simple. It's your primary color. Next, you actually go like this. Okay, divide your thing into actually 4 parts. So you actually get this red actually going up like this. So you make red, blue and yellow go out and you get 1, 2, 3 here. See 1, 2, 3. Okay. Divide this portion, this pizza into 1, 2, 3. So you can actually get 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here. See, now you actually have to have secondary colors. How will you do with the secondary colors? Now mix red, because the basic colors are mixed together, then you will get the secondary ones. So red and yellow, actually you put it in the second part. Okay, you put it in the second part. Red and blue, put it in the second part. You know, yellow and blue, put it in the second part. Okay, you can do it. Then you will get the secondary ones. Okay, so it's like this. The color wheel actually goes like that: red, yellow, and blue here. Then you will get orange, purple, and green. Seriya? The thing is actually, if you can see in the color wheel, the opposite ones are like complementing each other. Say red opposite green, yellow opposite purple, blue opposite orange. They are called as complementary colors. When you can write it down, this one, right? You can write this red opposite green, yellow. See, you actually divided the 3 parts. Now you got, this is the secondary colors which you have. See, the purple, orange, and the green in the third one. So that's 1, 2, 3 for you. Now mix this secondary colors with the basic colors, that is primary colors. Then you'll get red, purple here, red, purple color. That's the third one which you are getting. The red, purple here and the blue, purple here. Here you'll actually get green, green, blue. Then you get actually yellow, 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 green. Then you get yellow, orange here. You get actually red, orange here. This completes your entire color wheel very simply. So I'll repeat it again. 1, 2, 3. First red, yellow, and green. Then you actually go for your secondary ones. That is orange, purple, and green. Then mix orange, purple with your primary colors. You'll get red, purple, and you'll get blue, purple. You'll get green, purple, green, blue. Then you'll get actually, you know, the yellow, green. You will get actually the red, yellow, orange. Then you'll get red, orange. So that is how it actually fulfills your color wheel. You can make this color wheel very easily, and it's useful for you. They'll be asking about so many questions about this. Thank you so much. This is the one which I wanted to actually, you know, talk to you. So this is how you'll actually know that warm colors and the cool colors. Warm colors are actually the reds to the green. It's always actually a warm color. Then you actually have the cool colors. In the color wheel scheme, there are more actually warm colors. Thank you so much. I leave it to the moderator.
Thank you for adding, Raja sir. Any questions that can be answered by tutor?
Yes, one of the people, I request Aravind sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So one of the people asked, like, what is the color black?
See, usually black and white are not colors. Basically, they are neutrals.
Yes, they are neutrals.
Yeah, but what is colloquially what we do? We say black color, we say white color. You know, but they are not colors. They are all neutrals.
Yes, black and white are no colors.
No colors. They are neutrals. But what happens? Colloquially we tell colors.
But they are like they're superstars actually. They are like our tomato sauces. Okay, so you add, then they'll get actually more energy actually. So you add black, then you'll get something else. You add white, then you'll get something else. So that's what he talked about hue and shade. Okay, so it's like a tomato sauce.
Sorry, there's another question. Sir, then why do we get white color when we spin the color wheels? Definitely, you must have gone through the physics subject. White is mixture of everything, you know, right? When white light passes through the prism, you get Vibgya. Then all these colors come together, they become white. That's why you get, when you rotate a wheel, color wheel, you get white color. It's a white light. When you split through the prism, they form to make a Vibgya. Violet, indigo, blue, yellow, red, orange, all the stuff.
One small request to all the students.
What about gray? Gray is mixture of white and black in equal proportion. You get a gray. The proportion changes between white and black. You get darker gray, lighter gray. The shades changes. The tones, tint. Do you have tints and tones in grays? No. What do you have in grays then? So can you explain about significance of colors like peace, angry, calm? That's what I said, right? It's like not places, rather I would say, the cool colors are more of serene, peace, calmness. The warm colors like orange, red, those things are angry and all the stuff. So when you want to express your emotion through colors, when you're really not good in mood, then you'll go for warm colors. When your mind is very peaceful, you'll go for cool colors. Naturally, you can experiment yourself. You can definitely get that.
Yes, I'll add to it. Actually, if you see a movie, a person who wants to, some romantic person wants to give a rose, a red rose will be given, not a yellow rose will be given. So red, vibrant, okay? So then yellow is actually like, you're a friend of mine, so it's the yellow which is there, right? So you can see this cool and warm colors, which is actually warm, which is cool, okay? Very simple.
There's a question about split complementary. Would you explain it once more? Sir, you need to unmute yourself.
Split complementary, is it for the beginners? As I told you in one of the slides, as a beginner, you may not be really confident about the colors. Basically, that's the point, What color combination should I use as a beginner? That's the usually kind of $1 million question for any beginner who start using the colors. For them, when you go for split complementary, definitely the combination will work out well. That's the most basic and beautiful color combination where it will touch upon all the colors. That's the idea behind it. But whenever you go for color harmony, make sure one color dominates. It's not that 3 colors have equal proportion. No. You fix one color which is a most dominant character in that color combinations, and other 2 colors you can definitely complement it, support it, so that all 3 come together, they make a very big harmony in colors. So split complementary, you can browse the net, see whatever the slides which I have shown you, I have taken it from the net. So when you type these technologies in the internet, you will get tons and tons of data. You will definitely get a lot of data. You can hunt for it. Only thing, split complementary is for beginners. You will have a lot of data in it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, 1 minute. Just adding to that, simply, actually, when you are going to NATA examination, kindly request you, they'll be asking only the basic questions to you. Do not actually make lots of efforts in finding the colors. See, if you actually take a CRT tube and you'll be actually talking about video and all, the colors scheme is actually different. So do not actually do anything, any research. Just stick onto your color wheels, try to understand what is, primary, secondary and tertiary colors, and then try to understand what is a complementary color, what is a monochromatic color, what is a hue, what is a shade. That is more than enough. How you mix a white, how you mix a black, that is more than enough. That is the questions which they will be asking in NATA. So kindly actually, work on this basics. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I know this is a very huge, deep topic, and shoot out your questions in the WhatsApp group. I'm sure both our tutors will answer you. I call upon a very young and dynamic faculty of SRM as IST SAID, Professor Gajendran. He was a practicing architect both at Chennai and Pondicherry, and for the past 4.5 years, he's come into full-time teaching. For the past nearly around 2 years, he has been with SRM IST SAID. Gajendran sir, Professor, can you please say a few words, sir?
Yeah. Good morning, all. I wish all the luck for all the students attempting your NATA. So this is on your reasons to pick SRM as a school to train yourself. Definitely you would have heard from most of the faculties regarding what is your campus life is going to be. But I want to speak on to what is the education side. How different are we? How superior are we is what we want to bring in. See, right now, even the current syllabus, the syllabus we are again framing for the future. We are looking into a very comprehensive world and not a very competitive world within nationwide, but internationally also. We are foreseeing what is going to be ahead of us. Like architecture as a design, we have our tools. We do have our pen and pencil and papers as a basic tool, beyond which computers come into the next level. And in computers again, what is the next neo-futuristic method of design? We are taken up into parametric modeling. So here we have formulated our syllabus, which is like not many institutes across the nation, they don't have it at all. Wherein like we teach them on the tools to use into all these twisted buildings, what we admire looking in abroad is what we create using the parametric modeling. So these kind of things, what we foresee is like we are a step ahead in all of the other competing institutes. So, and again, with the exposure of SRM normally impress around 25 different countries. We get students. So again, spending your time here in class, you would have different collaborative minds from different places working together. That itself is quite a good exposure you would get here. So this is what I would like to tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Gajendran sir. I now call upon another very dynamic faculty, Professor Surya Prakash. He has specialized in digital architecture, exactly what Gajendran sir was talking about. He did his master's in digital architecture from Anna University. He has been teaching and been in the academic field for quite some time. Surya Prakash sir, can you give a few words of inspiration for the young aspirants?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to see this kind of crowd and the class, what is happening. I was observing Professor Arvind's presentation. It was really a very interesting session, and this is how everything starts. Okay, you have this field here, and you have this option here. You have this academic course everywhere. But what is unique in SRM? There is something what the previous speaker, Mr. Gajendran, was talking about, some technical aspects of parametrics and other components. But this university has a multidisciplinary interactive sessions where we have other departments involvement in architecture department, how you can improvise it. The whole world is looking at what can be architecture to next stage. We still cannot keep talking about, see, of course, we have to learn from history and tradition, culture, but how we are going to take it ahead, that is very much happening in SRM. I can easily, tell you this because of our contribution and the PhD topics, what we have taken, and the guides, how we are sharing the knowledge between the various departments. We'll learn a lot of things and deliver it to the students, because nobody is learning, as a faculty. There are a lot of dynamic faculties here who can contribute a lot on multidisciplinary architectural courses. So that is something what I wanted to tell you, because other things most of you have heard from our celebrity Professor Raja sir or Arvind sir or Anita ma'am. So all experts are teaching you in this sessions of NATA. But this is something which is, see, any college has a lot of multidisciplinary departments in their college. But here the interaction goes to the next level. The faculties of various departments get involved in architecture department so that we learn more things of latest technology. For example, big data, IoT, the parametrics, any computational, form generation. Everything helps you a lot in future competition, because everybody is talking about a lot of things in which we are, thinking it is, oh my God, it is only available abroad. But no, everything we are in fact trying to streamline everything in UG itself rather than PG. I'm just saying. So that is how SRM is very unique. And thanks for the opportunity to explain it, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Surya Prakash. Your aura itself gives a lot of confidence and happiness, and I'm sure the children are receiving those vibes. So we are done with today's morning session. Thank you for all your attentiveness. I'm sure you're all charged with a lot of thoughts, and you would want to, check out on a lot of those details. As Raja sir said, maybe you don't have to really pressurize yourself because it will be very simple questions, but definitely you will be learning because color has a huge factor in architecture. So thank you once again. Meet you sharp at 6 o'clock. Keep the energy till then. Bye-bye.